All right, let's hit up the comment section because one of the craziest things that you're going to see is everybody having their opinion on, your content and all of the above. Like the very first comment that I'm seeing here, just put 12 seconds ago, it's by an NSX Skyline 20. And it said, dude makes daily videos on how everyone except market leader Sony is making great moves. Clown levels of cope and hopium. NSX Skyline, me being quiet on what PlayStation is doing is not because I want to be quiet, is because they're actually not doing anything. Like, they really aren't. If I talk about PlayStation's last action in the public, it's that they canceled games. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to make videos about PlayStation on in that particular light? Tell me, I'm curious, because y'all will say this, but I'm just being cordial and I'm just being nice. I already made those videos. We talked about it, and I told everyone that I was kind of disappointed that PlayStation doesn't have a live service game to basically catch up to what Xbox is doing, because I know that PlayStation needs a live service game that works, that will keep Xbox away in terms of this competitive market. You see, what it is that you want is you want your ears to be tickled. Like, many people want to kowtow to some company because you have some brand loyalty. For sure, express your brand loyalty, but why is that my problem? Why should I express your brand loyalty? When I was here peppering Xbox fans and telling them that their games needed to go to PC and PlayStation, where were y'all? That's the thing about these so-called PlayStation fans. Where were you guys when I was telling Xbox fans your games need to go to PlayStation so that Xbox can actually compete in the way that it needs to, in the way that Microsoft knows to, where it's put a lot of its products on opposing platforms, just the way Office exists on Mac. This has made them stay comfortable, giving the best value to their customers in those areas. And Xbox fans, you will basically be the benefactors. I didn't see any of you come there then. You know what I mean? Y'all were laughing then. You were laughing. Now, you want me to make videos on PlayStation about what moves they're making? What moves? What moves? I mean, tell me. Because if we look at the news, it's not, it's nothing nice. But Xbox is over here announcing games going to PlayStation, as I had predicted, as I had basically said would advance their competitive side, and I'm making videos about it, and that's a problem for y'all? Come on now. Play on the platform that you like. That's none of my business. However, the reality of the gaming industry, if you are interested in knowing, then go know. You don't have to know from my channel. You don't have to watch my videos to know. You don't have to come out and make some silly comment, just because something. The reality is Valve is about to make a console, the video that you commented on. That console is going to threaten PlayStation's market share, because what it's going to give is it's going to give so-called console players the ability to be able to get into a console-like experience. In fact, I'm saying it like Valve is going to do, and Valve has already done it. And many of you on the PlayStation side and Xbox side, you've already bought into it. Many of you already have Steam Decks. You saw the way it was. You saw it had the console-like experience, which is what they're making. And you guys basically affirmed Valve and told Valve, we like this kind of stuff. That's literally what the market told Valve. And so what's Valve doing? They're basically going to continue to do it. Powerful portable PC gaming designed for comfort and console-like user experience. That's simply what the video was about. It's encroaching in Xbox's territory, but Xbox already has a PC pipeline. So most Xbox fans already realize that they're getting a double benefit in the Xbox ecosystem. PlayStation has been wasting time. Instead of doing their own PlayStation launcher, they're over there blocking games from going to countries looking for PlayStation Plus. I already said this a long time ago. People were saying, oh, PlayStation's not going to have a good launcher. If Ubisoft can have a launcher, PlayStation can have a launcher. Get out of here with that nonsense. But all you guys want to do is you want to somehow come in here and console war. This is why I block a lot of you. Because common sense in today's world, where people don't even want to sit down and think anymore. You just want to throw all these middle school level, comments out there instead of just engaging in a little bit of reason so that we can get to the bottom of this stuff. Oh, every day making a market leader Sony. Like you guys are in a cult or something. Xbox is basically bodying them right now. That's just the reality. Whether you believe that you're in the church of market leader or whatever the heck it is, cult that you're in, it's just the reality. They just canceled 10 live service games, and their competitor is about to make a dozen live service games appear on their platform. Well, that's a bodying. It is what it is. So let's focus on how the market is shifting. And we've basically been talking about how PlayStation can respond to this. Because, again, no offense, but if y'all have been buying PlayStation's exclusives, they'd be in a much more stronger position. But they're not. That's why they're all over on PC. Reality hits. Say clown, say comment, say copium, whatever the heck it is you want to say. It's not going to change the reality. That's it. So, it's your choice in that regard. Funny stuff. Another audience member of mine, supporter of the channels, Marquis the Major, you said, I need help understanding this. Now, this is the question that is on a lot of people's minds. This one's a really important one that we need to basically take a good look at it. And, shout out to, the audience members that are putting these questions out. You said, I need help understanding this. So EA, Ubisoft, Capcom, 2K Games, Roblox, Rockstar, Bandai Namco, Sega are all third-party publishers. They have games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, and PC. As far back as I can remember, they've been infecting PS, PC, Xbox, Nintendo. Hold on. They haven't been infecting Nintendo as much. This is why Nintendo can sell 72 million copies, including bundles, of Mario Kart 8 without much challenge. That's the difference, because these companies you just called, a lot of their games are naturally and organically filtered by the Nintendo Switch console. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X or PS4, and Xbox One, these consoles continue to tout their capabilities. And so these companies can make competitive, big 60, 120, 130 hour games that they can put on there that cannot work with the Nintendo Switch. So these companies, they are partners with PlayStation and Xbox, but they're also competitors. In fact, if you think about the way they even analyze and look at their own, shareholder meetings, when they do comparisons of their video games, they compare with other competitors and they list games that are made by Sony and by Xbox. So they understand that they're competing, even though they're partners. So Xbox is not in a, is not in like some kind of a, weird position. Rather, they're in a unique position because they're a third-party developer on PlayStation now, and they also have their first-party, hardware, which houses over 30 million on the Series S, at least, approximately, let me not say over. I meant to say approximately 30 million on the Series S and X, and then whatever is coming from the Xbox One console, people who have not yet moved, that still are getting support via Game Pass and all the other services that they're providing through cloud. That's how they're different from all of these others that you've mentioned. These others don't have a guaranteed user base, a guaranteed subscriber base like Xbox does. Ubisoft has a subscriber base. Ubisoft Plus, EA has EA Play, but they don't have anything like you would have with Game Pass, which is linked to proprietary hardware as well as external for people who want to come in from the PC side and other means. That's the big difference. So when you look at it all and you want to basically go ahead and say, well, what does this even mean? You now have to come back to PlayStation's own assessment of this particular position. Go back and read this document here. This is a Jez Corden article. Microsoft could disrupt and threaten PlayStation's business. Sony Xbox fears laid bare in massive hack. This is where PlayStation realized that Microsoft can basically do multiple things with their games compared to any other publisher out there. Right? That's why it takes a unique publisher to be able to sell that many games or make that many games to put on sale to stand out. EA, Ubisoft, Take-Two, these guys are the big names. So this is why their difference stands out. You said, doesn't Sony have 70 million PlayStations sold? Yes, they do. Isn't that something Microsoft has tried but failed to do repeatedly? But, well, hold on. Everybody keeps saying Microsoft has tried and failed to do repeatedly. But no one is considering that Microsoft has tried and is halfway of that particular console paradigm. That's where everyone is making the mistake. You're not considering that even as we speak, even though it's 3-1 or 5-1, there's still one that's being sold. And the moment they reach what I think is around 40 million consoles sold in the series generation, they are locked in and fine with their entire strategy. That is my opinion. Because even now, we're seeing their margins still be solid. We're seeing their potential and their propensity in the games and the software still looking good. So the 70 million consoles sold is but one metric. However, how you use software to then push the remaining piece and subscriptions is the second metric. And I think everyone looks at PlayStation's business and they want to look at Microsoft's business with the exact same eye. But many are not necessarily looking at Microsoft's business with Sony's eye. I'm sitting here and I'm looking through the lens of PlayStation at Xbox's business. Because they looked at it and this document, all you could see was threat, leapfrog, impact. Our pillars are dated and behind the competition. What is Sony seeing that's making them write this particular analysis that got leaked during the Insomniac hack? What were they seeing? And it's all written in that document. It's not what they're telling you on Twitter. If I say maybe I was coming up with this stuff, I'd say you could argue with me all day, every day. No problem. But this is what PlayStation is concluding. This is what PlayStation is actually alluding to. And even within these documents that I'm showing you, there was not even a mention of PlayStation, even of Xbox, bringing their own first-party games to PlayStation. Instead, it was just focused on Call of Duty and Xbox's ecosystem to be able to deliver games in multiple places and then also compete with Apple and Google on the mobile side. They never thought that a major industry shift like Xbox bringing its games to PlayStation was on the horizon. That was Xbox's ace under their sleeve. Believe you me. And if this is a little confusing, I can understand because like I said, you're looking at the business from the old school framework. So you said, because Microsoft has failed to sell consoles, they were forced to take another approach. Of course. They even admitted defeat. Of course. So now Xbox has to put their exclusives on PlayStation because they know that PlayStation has a bigger player base with 70 million consoles sold. Hold on. When PlayStation had over 100 million PlayStation 4s sold, Xbox did not put their games there. Do you know where Xbox was putting their games? PC. Let's go ahead and let's follow the strategy. You see, if you don't follow what Xbox has been doing in the last 8 years, you'll keep missing almost a decade worth of Xbox's business action and business strategy. That's literally what's being missed out here in this entire conversation. Simple. 8 years. When they first put their game on Steam and they were exploring another platform that even at the time, its growth was arguably still, within analysis, kind of coming up. Right? And Xbox was there. So now it's the next stretch of the competition that they're just ahead 2 steps. PlayStation is just getting to PC in 2022. It took PlayStation 6 years to finally realize we need to put our games on PC. Like everything. Well, in 2020, they were talking about how they weren't, Herman Hulst was basically saying that just because one AAA PlayStation game makes its way to PC doesn't mean all of them are going to do so. Only for 2 years later, for them to launch Spider-Man 2, even though they didn't mention anything like Project Latitude or whatever, they just simply did it and put all those games on PC. So this is literally where I think a lot of people are missing context. Even you are saying it. They sold 70 million consoles. What need do they have to put their games on PC? Again, I don't know. I don't know how else to put it, man. I've made like 100 videos and it seems like, it still continues to just, maybe I'm not explaining it well. I promise you, it's probably my fault at this point. It's probably my point that it's my fault. You said people prefer to play on PlayStation. Well, the people who bought PlayStation prefer to play on PlayStation. The people who bought PCs prefer to be on PC. The people who bought an Xbox prefer to be on Xbox. If we look at the data, the PC market is literally bodying all three in terms of growth and spending. Again, we got to unplug from just looking at the gaming industry as this one paradigm of Xbox and PlayStation. That's not how it all works. You said at this point, is it even a flex that Xbox, has lost the console war and was forced to give up their exclusives and become more of a third-party publisher, just like EA, 2K, and they're not like them. They're not like them, but they are kind of like them because these guys don't have proprietary hardware. They don't have the platforms that Xbox has. You see, I don't understand this whole celebratory thing that's going on, that Xbox is infecting the PlayStation ecosystem and taking over narrative. Xbox flooding PlayStation is helping PlayStation as well, isn't it? Doesn't PlayStation get a percentage of third-party games on their platform? If Xbox did not help PlayStation, how would it be able to leverage PlayStation? This is the thing that a lot of people aren't thinking, that you spend money to make money. What does it matter? Does that make sense? Like, if you have to sell 10 million units, and you guys keep saying that they're like EA and Ubisoft and blah, 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 blah. Like all these companies that you're calling, like all of them are losing. They're all selling games and making money. So if console exclusivity was the mark of the win, well, okay, maybe in if you define it that way, then, maybe you can conclude that Xbox lost. But that's never been the mark of the win. If it was, PlayStation would never have put its games on PC. You see what's going on here? It's always been how you can profit from the platform that you already have, whether it be game sales, whether it be subscriptions. And console sales were always done at a subsidy anyways. And now that Xbox has realized that, well, we don't have enough consoles to subsidize, but we have software. Shoot, let's go sell software where they're selling it all. And that's pretty much the reality. And they announced it. They said it. They said everything. Just like Herman Hulst and all the folk at PlayStation said, we're going to be bringing live service games day one to PlayStation. To PC. Xbox said we're going to be bringing everything to PC and no red lines for PlayStation. You've been told. These ecosystems are not sufficient for what these platform holders want to achieve. Both of them equally. And so you said this. Knowing you can play Xbox games on PlayStation is also going to incentivize people to stick with PlayStation as well. Xbox doesn't mind that. In fact, they're okay with it. Because you spend money to make money, and it's easier for somebody to spend $60 on your game than to spend $560 on your game. It's only logical and sensible that that's how you do it. You reduce the burden of your customer to be able to patronize you. I understand PlayStation is in the middle of fixing their first-party game situation, but people still prefer to play on PlayStation. Only the people that bought PlayStation that have PlayStation prefer to play on PlayStation. And that's not going away with Microsoft giving up on the console competition. Xbox games on PlayStation is just another reason to own a PlayStation. Okay? Own a PlayStation. They're not stopping you. This is something that behooves a lot of people, man. I could just say the same thing. PlayStation games on PC is not another reason, is another reason for me to own a PC. Sure. Here, the PlayStation people are saying, well, we don't see PC as a threat, so they're dropping their games on PC. You say you don't see it as a flex. I don't think we're looking at a flex in a sense. We're looking at a business strategy that's basically threatening the whole console industry, the whole gaming industry, and is shaking everything up. I only wish Xbox would have stayed a hardware and exclusive software competitor with PlayStation. That's all based on wishes. You just said it. Will Microsoft succeed with their third-party approach? They already did on Steam years ago when they were getting bodied in the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 generation. Why is everybody forgetting this context? I mean, or people just don't know? They were literally here making money. There are studios that they've had all those studios that they basically had when they went into the acquisition, when they were getting bodied on the Xbox. They were acquiring studios, and those studios were basically staying open. I don't remember how many, can anybody please help me out with any closures of Xbox studios that happened during the Xbox One generation that you know of? So they no longer are following the exclusivity thing. They weren't going to just go to Steam, see money that saved them and saved their skin, and then back away from it. Why would they want to do that? Who'd want to do that? That's weird. Don't you think? You've been doing the same thing, it didn't work out for you, so you tried something different and then it worked. And then you're going to go back and do the same thing that didn't work for you, maintaining as a console exclusive platform? You're courting the death of your company if that's the case then. Even PlayStation is transforming to look like 6 years ago Xbox. And I'll make a video about that here pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Peace out.